Yeah, that's right, we standing up for this one. So I guess like I've been wanting to make this video for a while. It's kind of a weird one. I mean, if you can't tell by the title, it's a little weird coming from a guy who identifies as heterosexual. But I think that even though I am a heterosexual male, I do think that I am justified in saying what I'm about to say. I've come to the extreme realization that I can't necessarily speak for members of the LGBT plus community. That is obviously because I'm not necessarily a part of the community, though I do identify as an ally. I've been wanting to make an impact in this realm for a really long time. Whether it be gender, sexuality, even race, I want to make an impact somehow, and obviously I think the biggest way for me to actually do that is to speak to the people whom I identify with, which happen to be the straight people. So here you go, dear straight people. It's pretty apparent, I guess, that the problem lies in the heterosexual community, at least as far as acceptance and equality and stuff like that. It's obvious that I think straight people are the reason why there is inequality. And here's the thing, obviously this isn't necessarily about every single straight person. It's only some straight people that this might be in reference to. All the straight people out there that are very welcoming and accepting of all types of genders and sexualities, I thank you very much. And the entire LGBT plus community thanks you as well. This video is for those who aren't quite there. I feel sometimes as if my relationship with my LGBT plus friends and family has been marred by the fact that people of my same sexuality have harmed them. At first I was really upset about the idea of taking an entire stereotype of a sexuality and putting that stereotype on me, but at the same time, you know, I can still understand. I've watched the insensitivity that's come from people toward even, you know, yeah, people that I'm really close to, and it's pretty rough. I don't blame them necessarily for thinking that I'm going to be the same way, but that doesn't change the fact that I will be forever just the most accepting and the most graceful person toward, you know, anyone of all sexuality, gender, race, creed, faith, all that. Obviously, a good amount of people still think that gender, sexuality, you know, is a choice. You need to stop! Now, I understand that might be from cultural upbringing, that might be from faith, that might be from, you know, stuff like that, but I encourage you to consider otherwise, or at least hear what I have to say. In my opinion, there's no freaking way that sexuality and gender are choices. And I will get a little upset about this because, like, good lord, it just seems so ridiculous to me. What I don't understand is, like, why would anyone who identifies as an atypical gender or sexuality, why would they choose that in the first place over something that's clearly much more accepted? Like, why would they choose to be discriminated against? Why would they choose to be part of a minority that doesn't even, you know, runs the risk of not even having the same rights? It's not a choice. It's just not a choice. It's not. But I guess the other thing that I will add is that, especially from the faith argument, I identify as Christian. I am Christian. There's just no way that God created this many lovely people with such a sinful choice that they've made. It's just not possible. It really isn't. I don't understand it. These are just qualities in people, you know, just like I didn't choose to be straight. I kind of just figured out, like, oh, I like girls, I don't like dudes. Obviously, the old way of thinking is to think that, you know, you kind of grow up a boy or a girl. When you grow up, like, boys like girls like boys. A lot of people, including myself, grew up that way. I'm pretty sure for, like, the first, like, 10 years of my life, I probably didn't think that boys could date boys and girls could date girls. Boys could become girls, girls could become boys, or non-binary, or, you know, anything like that. When I personally think about it, I personally think of, like, oh, man, like, what if I'm the same person that I currently am, but I was just born into, like, a female body with female, you know, reproductive organs? I would just be like, holy cow. It would probably take me a while to realize, but then I'd just be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm just a dude. I'm a male trapped in a female's body, and it just, I need to get out. For all the really accepting and great, you know, straight people out there watching this, what I'd like you to take away from this video, if anything, obviously, is that, like, just ensure that you're continuously being the most accepting and amazing person. Don't judge people, don't stereotype people, and just ensure that anyone who you know who might be in the LGBT plus community just knows that they're completely welcome with you and completely free to be themselves. My biggest goal for this video is to just maybe even affect one or two people who happen to follow me. If you're watching this video and you might not necessarily think that being gay or bi or trans or pan or any of that stuff is natural, is normal, I encourage you to take my word for it or just hear me out when I say that humans are humans, humans love humans. I think there are so many really, really awful things that are happening in this world that we don't need to hate on other humans. When there are a bunch of different things like global warming, you know, natural disasters like hurricanes, when there are things like poverty, when there are things like war-torn countries, you know, terrorism, things like that, why would you put inequality toward other people and judgment and racism and all that kind of stuff? Like, why would you put that on a level that's even slightly high on your priority list? There's so many bigger fish to fry in this world. I can guarantee your life will be so much better if you embrace everyone around around you. I think it's really weird when people choose to not spend time with people who are in the LGBT community specifically because they're LGBT+. Because I think a lot of people somehow seem to think that it's gonna rub off on you or some really stupid shit like that. Or that they're just worse people, or, you know, like the thing is, like, I have spent a ton of time with people in the LGBT+ community, and I'm very grateful. If anything, I'm actually like, I think I'm a better person because of it. I think I'm way more accepting, and it doesn't change anything about me in the sense that I'm no more sinful, no more stupid, no more, I don't know, like, whatever ridiculous thing people say. I guess the thing is that I don't consider gender and sexuality as anything other than just something that's true about somebody. What I identify with between people, though, is that I'm more interested in personality traits, I'm more interested in what their interests are, if they're a good soul. There are absurdly kind people of any race, gender, creed, all of that. There are also not great people at the same time. Sexuality, gender, race, all that doesn't define that. There's no correlation there, it's just... that's not a thing. It's just obviously that heterosexual people seem to be the biggest culprits, which is why I'm talking to you, heterosexual people, because you and I come from the classic sexuality, you know, the classic, you know, I am a male, I've always been a male, I identify as a male, I come from the classic gender role. But like, times are changing, y'all. I think it's part of my personal job to influence people, hopefully in the right direction, and what I believe is the right direction is toward equality, is toward everyone kind of just going about their lives not stereotyping people, not thinking that anyone is worse or that anything is not allowed, because love is love. Everyone can be with everyone. It feels as though I've personally made it my mission to ensure that the idea of, especially from parents to kids, teaching this idea to your kids of, you know, gay is wrong, trans is weird and wrong, like all that stuff, we need to get rid of that, because I think that's obviously where it stops, so that the ideas, those old ass ideas, can die with the older generations. And I know that this video is completely like jumbled up because I have nothing like written down or anything. I'm just completely speaking from the soul, speaking from my freaking heart. I just want to love the shit out of every single human being on this planet, and I know that there are plenty of people out there who also want that. If you are a straight person out there who doesn't feel like you can identify with what I've been talking about, please reconsider. Please, for my sake, for everyone else's sake, believe me, if anything, your life is gonna be so much better. Your life is gonna be so much easier. I don't know where I'm going with this, I guess, other than to say, like, for all those straight people who are struggling with this, like, I still love the crap out of you as well. I just want you to consider the fact that everyone around you is on the same level of being a human as you are. And for members of the LGBT+ community who I'm gonna assume there are probably a couple of people who are watching this, just know that you're freaking dope, just know that you'll always have a place with me. That being said, I have no idea how long this video is, but I thank you very much for watching. There's a lot of bad stuff happening in this world, but at the same time there's so many good things happening, and don't overlook the good things. Really, like, it's so easy to, because I think it's so easy to fixate on the negative. Just have a great day. From your homeboy, Danny Padilla, go out of your way to make someone else's day better. It's an insane idea, but if you do that every single day, it's gonna come back to you. It just is. Alright, and I'll see you guys later.